Today we're going to talk about the 7 major influences that influence us to drink alcohol. A lot of us believe that alcohol just happens and that we consume it for no reason at all other than the fact that it's habitual and it's a part of who we are at this point. But that couldn't be further from the truth. There are 7 major influences that influence us to drink. So in this video, that is exactly what we're going to talk about. So that way it leads you out of your drinking addiction and into finding the solution and ways to navigate your way out of this. So let's get into it. So there are 7 major influences that will influence you to drink and give into temptation. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, which would be the obvious: people, the direct influence of people around you. So you obviously have the direct offers, teasing and mocking of sobriety, social exclusion, group rituals, celebratory pressure, role model, mockery of sobriety, subtle guilt, encouraging rounds, pressure to loosen up, manipulation, cultural workplace norms. Just right there are 12 influences just with people around you. If you feel that any of these are a reason as to what influenced you to drink, go ahead and jot those down right now. Then we're going to move into habitual, the direct influence of other people around you, right? After work, this is habitual. These are things you start to work and then boom, 5 o'clock, let's go hit the bar, happy hour, right? Before going to sleep, it helps me sleep better. Socially drinking. This is the social lubricant aspect of drinking, right? Celebration. Oh, it's just good time, even though it leaves you feeling worse off every time. To relax, right? Reward. Oh, I had a hard work week. How many times have you heard work hard, play hard? And people associate that with drinking. Like, work so hard, make all this money, and then blow all that money on alcohol or other drugs, all right? At meals, God forbid you had a meal, or while you're cooking meals, or a meal out with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse. Boredom is just habitual. Oh, bored, gotta drink. Pre-game, special time of the day. Oh, it's summer, it's 2 o'clock, might as well break out a cold one. Alcohol availability, combining alcohol with other activities. Right there, again, another 12 influences that influence us to drink. Write those down if any of those are applicable to you. Beliefs, which is one of the most important of the 7. Beliefs is what keeps you tied to alcohol, because there is a belief that you feel alcohol serves you in any way, shape, or form. I believe this will make me confident, right? So beliefs. My belief is it improves my social life. It reduces my stress. It enhances my sleep, rest, boosts confidence. It helps me with my creativity. It's just harmless fun. It's a sign of maturity, necessary for celebration. It increases social acceptance. There are no serious health risks if moderated. It is better than other drugs. Cultural or family tradition justifies the use. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I can control myself. Helps me bond with friends. I enjoy the taste. Makes me happy. Again, another 17 of those right out the back. These beliefs are what keep us convinced that there's nothing wrong with alcohol, right? Harmless fun. That's a belief. However, it is at the top of homicide, suicide, driving fatalities, mental health, physical health decline. The proof is in the poison. The proof is in the pudding. Moving on. So again, write those down. Go back if you feel that any of those apply to you. Now, moving on to the third, coping. A response from the body that alleviates hardship. So when we are faced with adversity, our desire to escape that pain is so high, especially if alcohol was in our body 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. It's a harder pull. And then that leaves you, like this guy in the picture, chained to the bottle. So coping, trauma, PTSD, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, neglect physically or emotionally. Parents got divorced, loss of a parent, witnessing domestic violence, substance abuse, household, mental illness household, bullying, cyberbullying, witnessing a violent crime, kidnapping or abduction, severe poverty or homelessness, forced migration, community violence, foster care, incarceration of a parent, racial or ethnic discrimination, school failure, hate crime victim, loneliness or isolation, witnessing a suicide, sibling rivalry abuse, parent self-destructive behavior, repeated failure, criticism. Besides those traumas, you can also be influenced to drink because of depression, anxiety, to relieve stress, grief and loss, self-medication, boredom, loneliness, social anxiety, right there. So go ahead, jot those down if you feel that you use alcohol for coping, not being able to process these emotions that you have felt due to a traumatic incident or a trauma from the past that you're trying to navigate yourself through, but just feel like you don't have the tools to do it. Go ahead, write those down. Spiritual, lacking purpose and having a negative self-image is going to draw you closer to the bottle, right? Because you feel that disconnection from self. You don't know who you are. You are not living authentically. Loss of purpose, lost sight of what you're really meant to do in life, impaired relationships. You don't feel connected to those around you or feel supported. Neglected spiritual practices, whatever your higher practice is, right? Allah, God, the universe, spirit guides, Buddha, whoever your higher power is. When you start to neglect those practices, that is when the spirit, wine and spirit, right? Alakal in Arabic is body eating spirits. When you stop practicing your spiritual practices, now it is way easier for alcohol to come into play, right? You don't pray, you don't meditate, you don't have community service or a part of a faith. Poor self-image, you don't think you're great. You have labeled yourself an alcoholic, a liar, a failure. So just right there are the reasons that people start to drink spiritually. And now the next two that I'm going to bring up are out of our control. But here's the thing. The more in control you get of these first influences, the better off you will be for when it comes to world influence and hormonal. These two influences are out of our control. World influence, there's going to be liquor stores, there's going to be bars, there's going to be friends, there's going to be coworkers, there's going to be family that drinks. That is out of our control, but we can learn to control ourselves. Same as hormones. Our hormones are going to fluctuate and we can do our absolute best, but these are two influences that are out of our control. So if you like these types of videos and you want to see more of these videos, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the link below to book a call so that way we can hop on a call and talk about having you join the community of women who are getting sober and staying sober. Thank you. Talk to you later. Sorry, that was a weird ending. I don't know how to... It's the ending. I don't want to say goodbye. But I guess until next time. See you on the flip side.